Alright, here's the spotlight review on the, well, I can't say it was just released. I think this came out a little while back, but I'm not that far late into the game, so there's some good news. Here is the exclusive from Amazon, is it? Anyway, this is our Transformers Earthrise War for Cybertron Trilogy Seeker 2-pack of Ramjet and Dirge. But before we take a look at these two figures here, even though I have a slew of figures all over the place, as you can tell in the background, we'll take a look at the packaging as for sake of every single video review on this channel. And there's no face, so that doesn't do me any good here. Alright, jokes aside, let's look at this from the front. Lovely artwork of the two Seekers right here, the Coneheads themselves blasting a force. They're on Earth, apparently. There's the Ark right there. Looks like it got blasted as well. Still crash landed into that mountain from the Generation 1 cartoon. But if you look up here in the air, with that silhouette right there, it's actually our final Seeker here, which should be coming out very soon. If you were able to pre-order the Target exclusive, there's Thrust. Outside of that, Transformers Earthrise War for Cybertron Trilogy, Aegis 8 and Plus, Hasbro's logo, Takara Tomy taking the top right corner, and below that we got the, you know what, to the side of the packaging we got that very lovely promotional artwork for Earthrise, still looking good to the very end. There's once again the authentic Transformers logo, which to remind you, if it doesn't say authentic, it's a knockoff. Earthrise. On this side of the packaging here, well, what I said earlier about the Ark, and on to the back of the packaging where we've got nice promotional images of Ramjet and Dirge from their jet modes to their lovely cone-headed robot modes, and we'll get into all that in just a moment. Like, we got this little slip here with different multi-languages of warning, choking hazard, which my camera doesn't want to focus on, and I don't blame it. I don't want to focus on it either. We also have a set of instructions for the two cone heads in this dual pack, as you can see. Look at that. There we go. And then we finally have this thing, which is a map, which obviously if you have one of those red decoder slip things, you could, you know, line it up with this red line, which you can basically see anyway without it, and it's just supposed to be leading to another world. That's all I know. Not really a big fan of these things, that's why I never really showed them off, but what the hey, since it was out of the packaging anyway, I'll just... Alright, now on to the figures. Let's bring back in Ramjet and Dirge, our two of the last three Seekers that we need out of the set, but I want you to take a good look at our latest entries here with the Coneheads. So here is Dirge in its nice navy blue colors, beautiful, with the nice gold painted wings. Yes, this is painted because the actual molding of this is cast in black, which, you know, I gotta say, when it works, it does work. I'm surprised. I don't know how many coats this actually took, but it is pretty solid. I mean, you can't see the black from underneath it unless you look at the bottom here, and you can see in that hole right there, there's the original color. So yes, it was spray painted gold with a nice touch. I mean, not gold, but it's gold enough to me. It looks great. Promotional shots showcase that both of these Seekers here actually had clear domes for their cockpits. They are actually done in the clear orange color, which makes them pop, looks so much better. I think that's to keep in take with the Generation 1 counterpart figures. I don't know, I never owned them. So these are my first two here. Unless you want to count my Universe 1.0 Ramjet I used to have. Yeah, we got some nice printed on Decepticon symbols here on both the top and the bottom, which are actually a lot smaller, but anyway, nice paint details on Dirge. Yeah, originally these look like stickers. They're not stickers, it's all paint, which you can really appreciate. Nice red, nice yellow, pretty solid. Silver looks great. Doesn't seem to be any sloppiness to the paintwork on this guy. He looks phenomenal. My only gripe is that he doesn't have any tail fins. You know, it's just his design, I know, but I really got to nitpick about that. It's just, it doesn't look good without any tail fins. It always bothered me whenever I saw Dirge. Just that one thing. I mean, look at Ramjet in comparisons. It just looks like he's packing a lot and he looks more complete just because he's got tail fins. But yeah, they're pretty much just extensive retools of the Starscream mold, which, you know, obviously it's always been that route. Looks good for Ramjet as well. We got some nice highlights of silver here on the tail fins, which looks great. Down at the bottom, we also have some painted stripes in red, and we got some dots of yellow, and a lot of black. Black looks good. The cone is actually painted as well in black, and promotional shots show that Ramjet, or sorry, Dirge, I get them mixed up every now and again, my apologies, but Dirge doesn't have any paint whatsoever. It was actually just solid navy blue, but no, actually it is painted. It is black. I'm showing it, so there you go. They do have their own null cannon rays, as you can see. A little loose fitting on Ramjet Dirge. They're pretty tight, very secured. This one, on the other hand here, was real difficult to get out of the packaging, and it did stress a little bit, but using a heat gun actually kind of took care of that problem, as it's gone back to a solid black rather than the white. But you can see it's just a little bit, maybe another job. I really shouldn't say that, but this isn't a kids channel anyway. But yeah, I think that'll take care of that if I just use the heat gun one more time. Outside of that, not much to really say about these two. I mean, you know, there's no rolling wheels, right? So you're just basically scraping whatever paint job is underneath them if you go about that route. No landing gear for the front, nothing like that. A little cheap, but okay, fine, whatever. It is what it is, right? So outside of that, we'll take one last look at Ramjet, because I kind of actually went back to Dirge, and that's kind of unfair. But yeah, he does have some nice printed on Decepticon symbols from the top. He doesn't have, well, yeah, actually he does. They were kind of hiding in the shadow, but yeah, there are two lovely Decepticon symbols right there on the bottom. There you go. Okay, so anyway, let's do the side-by-side comparisons that you guys want to see. So let's bring in the other Seekers here. There's Skywarp, and then there's Thundercracker, and let's bring in Air Commander Starscream himself and put him in the middle here. And so far, here are the Seekers, not complete. We still need Thrust, who's coming soon, but you can get an idea of how big this convoy here is. Yeah, air convoy. Alright, let's go about transforming these guys now, because there's not much else to say about their jet modes. They are what they are. Now we will transform Ramjet first. I'll take off his null ray cannons, and we'll go ahead and pop up these pieces here, which should pop up. They're on separate connections. It should pop up. I don't know why it's giving me a fight now, but there we go. There's one. Try and get this one. Maybe it'll be a little easier. Maybe. There we go. Oh, and they did fix the support to these pieces here. I know on Starscream originally the wings like to pop off, but these are on solid connectors now. They're pretty tight, and they don't feel like they're gonna pop off the second you go about moving them. So that's a good thing. A very good thing. Alright, and now we'll flip back, or flip up the wings, and we'll come down here, and we will separate the panel pieces here, and that should allow us to actually pull down the legs, and then we can tab them in via a peg and slot like that. And we will separate the legs, flip back the heel spur and the feet like so. There we go. There's the lower portion of Ramjet. Now we will open up the chest cavity here like so, and we'll flip out his arms. We'll come back to that in just a moment. Let's go ahead and separate the front cone, the entire cockpit section, and we'll swing that around, bring that down like that. Right now we'll just bring up the shoulders so we can get this lined up right here. These two panels are actually going to tab in right there at the chest, and if it's connected properly they won't move about, like that one and that one. All right, we're good to go. I'm gonna raise the camera a little bit because these are some big Seekers here, and we will go ahead and take the rest of the cone here, and we will flip this all the way back just like the other Seekers, and that reveals our cone head like so. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to pry open this piece here. It's easier if you pull down on his hand, and that will allow the forearms to flip down and swing down. Make sure that tab is flush like that, and then we will connect this back together and flip the hand in like that, and there we've got one arm. Repeat the same process on this side. Pull down as it should pop open like so. Don't have to put too much force on it. This panel here should flip down as well. Swing that in, close them back together, flip in the hand, and there we go. Align everything to your liking, and then we will finally take the null ray cannons and we will apply them to the shoulders. There's one. Here's the other, which I don't know why I couldn't find the hole there for a moment, but there we go. There is Ramjet in his lovely robot mode. We'll come back to him in just a moment, the second I take care of Dirge, which is pretty much copy and paste here. Let's take a good look at all this awesome detail, starting off with Ramjet here. Hopefully you can actually see his face. I don't know why it's so dark. I got the lamps on in the back. Why is this not coming out right? His eyes are painted very crisp and clean with the bloody red. I love it. There's a good look at all the detail from his chest down to his legs and his feet to the back of the figure. And there really isn't that much hollowness to him, as you can see. Everything looks pretty solid. I really do appreciate it. Only nitpick is just that the only real hollow bit is just here, really, on both sides, and that's it. I mean, they're well hidden by the arms, obviously, but it's just something to point out. I'm not really gonna say that's a negative on the guy or any of the Seekers at that, but it is something that I still have to address. It's just the way it is. We also have some gold paint here on these pylons, which is nice. I like that. They spared to no expense with the paint details on these figures. They look phenomenal. And we'll take a look now at Dirge. If we can actually see him. Why is he so dark? What is going on here? The clear cockpit window is actually popping here. You can actually see it. That it glows. That's something. That's cool. It reminds me of the light piping days. But anyway, there you go. Here's a look at the back. For as much as you can see, he is very dark. I know it's a dark blue color for the figure, but still, it shouldn't be this dark. Oh, and something else to point out about these two is that they do have different face sculpts. As you can see, Ramjet just has that stern look, which is awesome. And for some reason, they decided to give Dirge this screaming face sculpt as if he stepped on a nail or something. I don't know if that would do any harm to him since he's all metal, but it's just something that I need to address there because it's kind of hilarious. It does look like he stumped his toe on something. So that's about it for these two Seekers. The only thing that we can really go through is the articulation, and I'll just do that real quickly with Ramjet only because he comes out a lot better on camera. No offense. So he does have a ball joint at the head, or should I say both of them do. They do have hinges at the shoulders, and they do have also a rotation joint there. We've got our bicep swivel cut. We've got single jointed elbows that does get a little more than 90 degrees, which is nice. Nothing at the hands, unfortunately. Nothing at the waist. We can flip up the crotch piece section and we can get some kicking forward on these universal joints, and nothing really to go back on because of the back piece here that just hinders everything. We cannot, unfortunately, pull off a full JCVD split, so toss that one into this video. We do have, however, a thigh swivel cut. We got single jointed knees that does get more than 9 degrees of play. Even though there's a lot touching here, it's still more than 9 degrees, which is nice. Last portion of articulation is at the feet. We got up and down movement at the toe. We've got up and down movement at the heel spur. And we do have that lovely ankle rocker pivot that only Hasbro really knows how to pull off perfectly. And that is it for the articulation. And that's pretty much it for everything that I can define about these two characters here at your size comparisons for the video review. I felt like all the Seekers that we have so far needed to be put into this moment, so here we go. Here are your two Coneheads that we have at the moment, and the first 3 Seekers out of this Earthrise line, which we have Starscream and the 2-pack of Thundercracker and Skywarp for comparisons. There you go. Yeah, that was a lot to say, and there was so much to talk about in this Spotlight review. I'm sorry it went longer than I had anticipated. Anyway, there you go. There's a look at this exclusive 2-pack from Amazon, which I still believe is where it came from. This is the Ramjet and Dirge Seeker 2-pack with, once again, thrusts coming from Target very shortly, and I can't wait to review that one and put in with the rest of the Seekers here to complete the team, unless you want to say that we still have the Rainmakers that they could also do. And if they really wanted to go that route, maybe even Slipstream. I would welcome her in a heartbeat. But that's going to do it, guys. I can recommend this set, but I don't think for the price that I actually paid for it, I was desperate. That was me, okay? Your results are going to be different. If you can skip this, if you don't need it, more power to you. But for me, I'm a bit of a completionist, and I needed these Seekers. And, you know, it also does me the favor of reviewing them for your viewing pleasure, and maybe you can get some cues from me about whether or not it's worth the purchase. If you can actually fork up the cash, because it is a lot these days, especially if you go with eBay. So questions or comments, you know what to do. Hit down below in the comment section of the video. If you like today's video review, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to give me a sub up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. Don't forget to throw in the towel. And until next time, my friends, this is your unprofessional toy reviewer, Red as Power, sign off saying thank you very much for watching this, and I will see you whenever you see me.